They demanded $30,000 in back rent, but I own the house they tried to evict me from. My name is David. Have you ever come home after a grueling day where your body feels completely drained and all you want is a shower, a warm meal, and maybe a few hours of sleep before the world's demands resume? That was me a few years ago. I was 28 years old, having just completed a brutal 16-hour shift at a construction site in Atlanta, Georgia. My boots were still caked with the grime of cement. My shoulders chafed from hauling rebar in the rain. My palms stung from rope burns, and my back felt like it had been ground down by the weight of steel beams. The scent of sweat, rust, and diesel was a persistent shadow. My hands trembled as I turned the ignition off, too weary to even climb the stairs. My sole desire was silence and the solace of my own bed, nothing more. But when I slid my key into the lock of the house, I'd grown up and it didn't turn. At first I thought it was me, too tired, too shaky. I gave it a firm jiggle, stared at it as if it might apologize, even checked the number on the door, convinced I'd walked into the wrong life. Then the door opened and there she was, Karen, my stepmother. Dressed in yoga pants, a t-shirt, her phone in one hand, a look of pure contempt in the other. Her hair was tied up as if she'd had a difficult day, though I doubted her definition of difficult resembled mine in any way. Behind her, my stepbrother Michael was lounging on the couch, my couch, wearing my hoodie, laughing at something on his phone. Next to him, his ever-present unemployed friend had his arm elbow deep in a bag of chips I'd bought. "Oh," Karen said as if she'd forgotten my existence, "you're back early." I told her the key didn't work. She didn't flinch. She gave a cold sneer. "We changed the locks. If you want to stay, it's $30,000. Back rent, utilities. Your brother deserves a vacation. You're working construction. You can afford it." I stood there, my boots digging into the welcome mat I'd picked out years ago, my duffel bag cutting into my shoulder. For a moment, I wasn't 28 anymore. I was 13 again, watching Karen carry her boxes into the house. After my mom's funeral, I was hearing her say, "Call me Karen, not stepmom. That's too formal." I was realizing that too formal was just a clever way of saying, "Don't expect me to love you." "Did Dad approve this?" I asked. She smirked again. "He's overseas. This is my house. When he's gone, my rules." The next 30 days were a storm. Karen posted online playing the victim. Michael cried on TikTok. They called me heartless, ungrateful, a monster. My phone filled with voicemails from relatives I hadn't spoken to in years. "She's your stepmother? He's your brother. Blood is blood." But I saved everything. Every screenshot, every voicemail, every message, proof, evidence, a permanent record of who they really were. When the mask slipped and when the deadline came, I showed up, not in dusty work clothes this time, but in a pressed shirt, my hair combed, documents in hand. Karen opened the door, arms crossed, her eyes sharp as glass. "We're not leaving." "You already did," I said, "on paper weeks ago." Michael appeared, hoodie half zipped, his eyes red. His voice trembled. "This is illegal. You're throwing us into the street." "No," I told him. "Michael, you chose not to leave. I gave you every chance." And then my dad's car pulled up. For a moment I thought he'd side with them, that he'd look at me the way he used to. Look at Karen as if she was saving him from his grief. But he walked toward me first. His eyes were tired, but his step was steady. He handed me an envelope, divorce papers. "She never cared about you," he said quietly. "Or this family, I see that now." Together we turned to face them. Karen sputtered excuses. Michael begged for sympathy, but Dad's voice was steadier than my own. Had been, "This isn't your house. It never was. Pack your things." As the sun set, the house fell into silence. Their laughter, their mess, their shadows all gone. By midnight, it was mine again. I roamed barefoot through each room. Every light switched on, not because I needed to see, but because I could. For the first time in years, the air didn't feel heavy. The walls no longer thrummed with tension. The silence was not a punishment, it was a profound peace and standing. In the doorway of my childhood room, I realized something profound. Reclaiming your home isn't just about bricks or deeds or paperwork, it's about reclaiming yourself. About saying, I belong here and no one gets to take that away from me.